We are back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Cardi B is being exposed for basically trying to copy the Queen Bee formula and Queen Bee's business idea. Now, Cardi B allegedly is planning on dropping a hair care line with Revolve. She was spotted at a photo shoot wearing her natural hair, and I think it was previously reported that she has a deal with them earlier this year. So it looks like she's following the Queen Bee formula and putting out her own hair care line. And if you guys remember, Cardi B said that she wants to become a billionaire. Now, back in 2021, Cardi B did an interview with Billboard, and she said, "But now I'm at the level that I'm at. One of my biggest influences is Riri and Camel Face. I'm not just saying it to kiss ASS or anything. I just feel like they're so influential because Rihanna comes from a Caribbean country that my parents come from." Okay, I thought she said her parents came from Trinidad. They came from the Barbados. Okay, she come up with a new way to find a way to be black. But anyway, with that being said, my parents came from, and she's a whole billionaire. But for her to make her business so big and be a billionaire, that's what I strive to be. That's what I want. I want to be a $1 billion woman. I want to build a huge brand. Okay, so Cardi B's been saying this since 2021. So, this is what she wants to be. She wants to be a billionaire. The first female rapper billionaire is what she's hoping to be. Nicki Minaj said that she was a billionaire. I think that she said that a few months ago. But let me know if you guys are here for the Cardi B $1 billion hair care line like Queen Bee. Because Queen Bee definitely going to make $1 billion off Sacred. Okay, Sacred was the #1 hair care line in 2025. And a lot of people have been raving about it. And to be quite honest, I can't even front. Sacred do be working. She should have put that out years ago. But in my opinion, I feel like with Cardi B, yes, she has long hair, right? And I do believe that she probably would, know what ingredients to put for a hair care line. But I feel like she just be throwing stuff at the wall. Like she trying to find what would stick. Okay? I don't really feel like she has the love for any type of business. I think she just wants to be rich. And to me, I feel like if you don't have the love for what you're doing, it ain't gonna last. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like with Beyonce, you can tell that she really put a lot of time and energy into making Sacred. I think she put more energy into that than she did in Ivy Park, and that's why Sacred will last. Ivy Park didn't, okay? Because Beyonce don't really care about fashion like that. You can tell. So let me know how y'all feel about it. And do you feel like Beyonce and Cardi B will compete for the #1 hair care line? Now, moving on to Megan Thee Stallion. It looks like Tory has submitted a official report from a software expert who reviewed Megan Thee Stallion's medical records from the night she was allegedly shot. The expert claims there was 60 fraudulent errors in the medical records that were presented in court. It has been reported that Tory's team is taking a deep dive into Megan Thee Stallion's medical records, okay, to basically prove his innocence. Let me know how y'all feel about it. Here's my thing. I definitely think Tory, if he wants to, and is in his right to keep fighting if he's innocent. But my whole thing with Tory is, why won't you just throw Kelsey under the bus? Didn't 21 Below Average say F the streets? Because they want to be back cool with Gunna. Okay, them fake ass niggas, Doug, Little Baby, G Herbo, all of them. Now it's F the streets because the people that are not part of the streets are thriving. So now it's F the streets. So my whole thing with Tory is, I feel like the only way you getting off if Kelsey confess. And I think you need to just throw Kelsey under the bus. Okay, I'm tired of you saying, oh, I didn't really want to speak, and, you know, I probably should have testified. That's what he said in his recent interview, that if he had testified, things would have been different. Yeah, well, throw Kelsey under the bus and make sure you have some receipts after you throw her under the bus. I don't want you to know he said, she said. I want you to have some facts when you throw Kelsey under the bus. But it all points to her. They was fighting according to the witness. They both were sleeping with you. She had the motive. Throw her under the bus and call it the day. F the streets, like 21 said. Now, happy birthday to Scratch Off. She posted some pictures for her birthday. So happy belated birthday to Scratch Off, because her birthday was yesterday. You know, Scratch Off, I ain't gonna front. On the Pop It record, you did your big one. On the Pop It record with 21 Below Average, okay? I skip basically all of his part to go to your verse, okay? You ate up the Musty Walker collaboration too. So I'm going to give you your fives, okay? I'm going to give you your fives. But what we can't stand for is editing pictures to hide pregnancies, okay? These pictures are edited. Everybody knows that Scratch Off is pregnant. That's why she hasn't been seen out. And I feel like Scratch Off, you made your bed, no pun intended. You got to lie in it. I know that 21 Below Average is married and you don't really want people to speculate, you know, and basically throw your relationship under the bus. But my whole thing is, how long you going to hide it? Okay? You've been hiding it for months now. You just need to come clean. Okay? One thing about Scratch Off, I feel like, I get it. You kept the relationship a secret, so you might as well keep the baby a secret. But people are going to find out anyway. And the reason why you had to keep the relationship a secret is because he's married to his baby mama for the green card. So you had no choice. Maybe you should have had a baby and got into a relationship with somebody that wasn't married. Because 21 Below Average is not even like a really that hot of a rapper right now. He hasn't been hot in years. So in my opinion, you just got to take accountability. That's all I want from Scratch Off in 2026 is accountability. You had a baby with a married man, and you just need to come clean. Now, moving on from that, Karruche and Deion Sanders have been popping out together a lot recently. It's been confirmed months ago that they are dating, and allegedly there's some speculation that they could get engaged. Okay, now I believe he was previously married or engaged before. So behind the scenes, that's what people are saying, that allegedly Karruche and Deion Sanders could get engaged. Well, I hope when that happens, she leave the country with Deion, okay? Because I know one person that ain't going to be happy about it. Fist Breezy. He definitely won't be happy about it. When they announced that, well, they didn't really announce it, but when they first got caught together, when he had his, what surgery? Did he have heart surgery or penis surgery? What? He has some, or kidney surgery. He has some surgery. I forgot what it was. Or prostate cancer. I think he has something going on. When they first popped out together, Chris Brown was throwing shade. Okay, I don't know if y'all peep, but he was throwing shade saying, my little shit pisses me off to this day. I'ma pray on it. He never gonna get over that coochie. He's never getting over Karruche's coochie. And that's why I feel like if she get engaged, all hell gonna break loose. But the music gonna be fire. The music gonna be fire. Chris Brown gonna make the best album if Karruche get married. She should have done this years ago so we can get some good music. I mean, Chris Brown make fire singles here and there, but I mean like a full album of heat is gonna be lit. So let me know how y'all feel about it. But there were some rumors that allegedly she was friends with one of his exes, and that's how she even met Deion Sanders. So there's some tea behind that too. That she actually tried to pull, or she did pull a Portia, and she was cool with the wife. They weren't besties, but she was cool with like the ex-wife or ex-girlfriend. And then allegedly she started sneaking and geeking with him. That's what the streets be saying. So it's about to get real messy if they do get engaged. But I feel like Deion Sanders is too old to be getting married again. I know he got money, But it's like, bro, like, you just doing anything at this point. Now, moving on from that, there's some speculation that Zendaya is Preggers, okay? People been peeping that she's been wearing these jackets, or basically these puffed up outfits, these sweatshirts, whatever you want to call it. A lot of people are speculating that she is pregnant. As we know, her and Tom Holland are set to get married, even though they don't have a date yet because they've been filming. Let me know how y'all feel about it. In my opinion, congratulations to Zendaya. But I could have sworn Zendaya said if she had a child, she would be retiring. I feel like it might be a little bit too soon for Zendaya to retire, especially since people have been recently questioning whether or not she's a good actress. People have been, recently trying to say that she's not really that great of an actress. So I feel like she needs to show the people why she's one of the best actresses in the game and why she's Zendaya. So I don't feel like it's the time to retire. I feel like she definitely needs to still work and prove to the people why she deserves an Oscar, because she got 2 Emmys and she definitely could win an Oscar in the future. Now, Champagne Thickums takes jabs at Spotify.
The motivational background music?
You know what? They don't, but I guarantee that they. I can play it on Spotify real quick.
We'll play it then. And take us full screen before we go to Blackjack.
So, Champagne Thickums called Spotify. Okay? Basically running with the narrative that Spotify uses bots, which I think they're getting sued for. But Champagne Thickums was name dropped in the lawsuit for using bots. So that's interesting. We'll see how that lawsuit plays out, because it's not over. And just because his name was in the lawsuit, that don't make him guilty. But I find it interesting that Champagne Thickums, who is one of my favorite rappers ever of all time, I find it interesting that he's going up against Spotify and calling out certain things when you're the number 1 stream rapper on Spotify. Okay? So that's interesting to me how Spotify uses bots, but wouldn't they be using it on one of the most successful rappers of all time? Because you're like the number 1 stream rapper. And mind you, Champagne Thickums hasn't gone number 1 since the Kendrick beef, okay? And you're still the number 1 rapper, which means that people are streaming you, but is bots being used? That's the question of the day. And mind you, Champagne Thickums dropped, I think, like 3 or 4 songs that I feel like were one of the best songs, or the 10 top best songs of the year. I feel like Nokia definitely was a bop. Somebody Loves Me was a bop. What Did I Miss was a bop. There was another song he did that was a bop. But the point of the matter is, I feel like Champagne Thickums can't really push the bot narrative, because you the number 1 stream artist on Spotify. And I listen to your music, but I just don't think that they're giving bots to flops like 21 Below Average. They're removing the bots for him. But I feel like they would give it to you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they're not just giving anybody bots in the music industry. Okay? When other artists trying to use bots, they get that shit removed expeditiously. Okay? So I'm like, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know if Champagne Thickums want to go down that rabbit hole, but he can if he wants to. But anyway, I got some hot tea on Patreon on Sydney Sweeney's and Zendaya, 50 Cent and Diddy, and I hope you guys have a great day.